Hello, welcome to another GoldMine 101, our regular series of short presentations giving you hints and tips for getting the most out of GoldMine CRM. And in this session, I'm going to cover how to clean up your CRM data. So spring is here. This event is March 2025, and there's no better time to refresh and revitalize your GoldMine CRM database. So today I'll be sharing practical strategies and some tips for you on how to declutter your data, remove duplicate records, purge outdated records, and optimize your CRM GoldMine performance. By the end of the session, you'll have hopefully a clearer actionable steps to streamline your GoldMine system there, saving you time and enhancing productivity and improving your customer interactions, which is what it's all about. So hello, I'm Tim Wilmot, and my company, Wizard Systems, we're a specialist CRM solutions provider who help out mainly small and mid-sized organizations improve their sales productivity, marketing, and customer service through the use of simple and affordable solutions like GoldMine. Now, the audio part of this presentation is one way only. If you've got any questions, please pop those into the questions section on your meeting control panel, and I'll do my best to answer those at the end. Also, at the end, I'll give you any updates we've got on GoldMine news as of March 2025. Right, just before we dive into things then, just a bit more information about Wizard. We're a long-standing supplier of GoldMine CRM. We've been implementing and supporting GoldMine for many, many years now. And as a leading independent CRM solution provider, we actually offer various CRM systems, not just GoldMine, all right? And the key benefit there is we provide a multi-solution CRM supplier that's got the ability to match different businesses to the ideal system based on your size or your budget, what type of market sector you're in, and of course, any sort of specific requirements. We've all got our own needs and different ways of using a CRM solution. So with experience across a lot of major CRM solutions, we've got the know-how to guide you through selecting the best software and customizing it to your requirements. But as regards GoldMine, we're a one-stop shop. We can provide anything about the product range, upgrades, extra licenses, customizing it to your requirements, training as well, your place, our place online, and the ongoing support as well with our permanently manned GoldMine help desk. All right, let's dive into GoldMine and talk about different tools that we've got in the system to help you keep everything clean and up to date. First of all, I'd like to say that a lot of the things I'm going to be mentioning would be the responsibility of an administrator in GoldMine. So one of your team, maybe you, if you're on this call, maybe you've got the responsibility of looking after GoldMine. You don't really want your ordinary users doing what I'm about to describe, because very often they can have lots of options. You need to have familiarity with it. You need to make sure you've got full access to the application. You need to make sure backups are done. So normally a lot of these things would be the realm of the administrator. So look at your records in GoldMine, specifically your contact records, your customer records. Are they out of date? Do they have missing information? Do you have duplicates? And so taking this record, for example, don't have an email address there. We could be looking on the summary tab. We could be looking at when was this record last updated? When were they last contacted by phone, by email, or a physical appointment? Are there any, these bottom four fields here, are there any follow-up activities due? So by browsing through your records, of course, you can create filters on any of this information. You can do counts on those filters as well. Dashboards may help you. I'll dive into a dashboard that I've got to show you shortly, just to try and summarize where you're at with your data and how tidy and how many records you've got in certain areas in GoldMine, just to help you research what's going on there. But look at your records, all right, just to see if there's missing information, duff information, incorrect information, poorly validated, and so on. And that summary tab is quite useful as well, and it will give you the ability to point a finger at a GoldMine user to say, oh, you entered this record and it's incomplete, or you last updated this record and you didn't check that record, you didn't update information. So assuming that you've established through your filters and due diligence, you've established that things need tidying up. There are a number of tools in GoldMine to help you. Of course, primarily, they're under the Tools menu in GoldMine and under Data Management. So there's quite a few here, handful of things here. I'm going to go through the main ones here. First of all, starting with Delete Records. So as the name suggests, this is the ability to, rather than just deleting records one by one, which of course you could do, if you think the issue just relates to a few records, you come across that record, you could delete it. But this is where, using this delete wizard, you could delete all history records. So as you record, make records of phone calls and emails and other actions, they're building up that history file. You may want to purge that, remove it. Normally these records are very, very small and they won't normally impact your performance of GoldMine, but it's in there anyway, in this delete wizard. And the other thing is deleting all contact records. So you just basically go through this wizard here and select the filter that you want to apply to this mass deletion. Of course, pretty dangerous if you leave it on all contact records, but typically from that drop down list there, you would select one of your newly created filters, check your filter as well, and just go through it and choose your options. When you come to the end of the wizard, you'll have a finish button. Job done. It will go off in the background and delete those records. Next, back to my tools menu, data management. Let's look at global replace. This is where you are updating fields, contact fields in GoldMine with a value, or you can swap fields around, or you can update fields based on some advanced options here. For example, changing the format, changing the syntax of a field. If people have entered in a bunch of records incorrectly, or you've imported records incorrectly, that's a nice way of updating, again, records en masse, restricting it to a filter if you want to, the affected records, and a great time saver there, rather than going through records one by one, making those adjustments. Right, number 3, data management again. We've got merge, purge records. This is the duplicate record, the remove duplicate record feature of GoldMine, merge, purge, okay. With a lot of these wizards, these data management wizards, initially you will get an alert notification. Read that. It's pretty straightforward. You know, you're about to do something quite advanced here. There's no edit undo. Got to make sure a full backup has been done. So make sure you've done those prerequisites there. The merge purge wizard is really nice. Not many CRM systems have this kind of ability, but this is a way of defining your criteria, the kind of comparison criteria that you would determine a duplicate record. It might be you're searching through your records with a combination of maybe surname and postcode, zip code, or whatever. You could choose more than one field to compare your records, and the merge purge wizard, we have covered this on a number of one-on-one sessions before. The merge purge wizard will prompt you for a weighting to apply to these different criteria. And with the combination of all of those different searches, if the qualifying weight is matched or exceeded, then the merge purge, the merging of those two duplicate records will take place. Really clever stuff. We'll do SoundX match as well. But a really nice way of merging together duplicate records. You can also go through the system in a manual way where you are presented as it scrolls through the database. Again, you can restrict it to a predefined filter or group. It'll go through your records and it will show you the affected records left and right, and you can then decide which record you want to retain. The merge purge wizard will also prompt you on the record selection whether you want to retain the record that was entered first or the record that was last updated. So another option there that you've got. Right, back to tools, data management, and territory realignment. Again, I've got my cautionary notice there. Make sure you've got your backup done. But this is a way of assigning records and outstanding activities from one user to another user. Typically, this would be used where a user has left your organization or no longer uses GoldMine, and there's records assigned to them. Maybe they've got outstanding activities, actions, typically phone calls, maybe some meetings, maybe follow-up, maybe future sales forecasts. You want to assign that to a new user. And this will take you through very simply and assign all of those records and activities from old user to new user. Again, make sure you've done a backup before proceeding. So that's the tools menu there. 4 really useful tools to help you clean up your data. As regards trying to find out how clean is your GoldMine system, well, of course, you can use those filters. You can use reports. You've got counts on those reports as well. We do use quite a lot of Wizard Systems dashboards. And this is where you can, via dashboard, via simple metric, and we can supply this dashboard to you if you want to. We do normally supply this dashboard to our customers, but this is where you can ascertain, looking at the various parts of GoldMine. And GoldMine is not just one big file. It consists of a number of different files. When you're interacting with GoldMine, you see it as one system, but deep down in the structure, in the bowels of GoldMine, they are different tables, as we call them. Now, don't worry too much about this column here called table name, but Cal and Contact One, they're probably 2 very important tables that you work with in GoldMine, and something that can, over time, become a little bit unwieldy and bloated. And it's not the fault of GoldMine. It can be sometimes down to users not completing activities or creating too many activities. So you want to try and prune that down. And this very simple summary table here shows us that I've got, in this particular system, in my calendar file, I've got quite a few thousand records. So you can take a look at these reports and tables and counts. You can take a view on them where you think, okay, so we got thousands of records. Maybe I've only got 2 users. Can 2 users do all of those thousands of activities? Of course, you can fine tune it by date, drill down a little bit more, but then there again, these dashboards and reports can really help you establish how tidy and up to date your data is. With activities, remember, in the activity list, you've got the ability to globally update activities. So if you do have lots of outstanding activities, lots of phone calls, for example, or lots of old outstanding phone calls. And maybe they relate to a user that's left the company. There is the update option within the activity list to knock them on the head, to actually remove them, or adjust them in some way, move them to a future date. Quite a few options in there, and that's the update. That's the update feature as part of the activity list. So quite a few tools there to help you make sure you're on top of things in GoldMine, and making sure GoldMine is continually working well for you. Right. As we normally do, if you've got any questions concerning this feature, I'd be happy to answer those now for those of you on here live. Or if you're watching a recording of this on YouTube, just pop it in the comments or send us a direct message and we'll try and respond to you. Right. Pauline is asking, what's the safest way to delete old records in GoldMine without accidentally losing important data? Well, that's a good question. It's very important to approach that record deletion process very carefully. As I said, first of all, it's normally an admin user that's going to be doing this, all right? You wouldn't let an ordinary user. Normally the admin user is fully aware of all of the options of deleting records, and hopefully would have taken some training from Wizard Systems, but it's all fairly straightforward. The safest method is to start by making sure you've got a full backup of your GoldMine database before making any significant changes, because once they're gone, all right? There's no edit undo like in Excel or wherever. Once they're gone, they're gone. Next, clearly define the criteria for records that you think are obsolete and old. For example, I went through some examples, contacts with no activity due in the last 5 years or missing information. You can run a query or filter within GoldMine to try and isolate those records and carefully review them, browse through them one by one, just to make sure your filter is correct. If you're unsure, we recommend initially archiving or exporting these records externally before permanently deleting them. And remember, if you need help with this process and others, our Wizard Systems support team is always here to guide you and assist you. Right, hopefully that answers your question. Mathilde, how often should we perform a data cleanup in GoldMine to maintain optimal performance? Another excellent question. Ideally, you should aim for some kind of regular maintenance plan. I would say at least once or twice a year. I mean, that's why we're doing it here, just to try and sort of go along with the spring clean theme. Maybe you could do it at a quiet time of year as well. If your business is seasonal, maybe there's a quiet time of year when you can tidy up your internal systems to really make sure that your CRM system is going forward, running smoothly. Many organizations find it useful to schedule these maybe quarterly as well. I've seen some people do it on a more regular basis. It could depend on the size of your database, how frequently data change occurring. Are you doing regular imports of data, extracting data, doing mailings? There's lots of factors to consider, and maybe also watch out for comments from fellow users, like, "Oh, why has my GoldMine suddenly gone slow?" Or "These records are messy," or "I can't find such and such information," or "Something's missing." So watch out for those signs. If you'd like any, I mean, everyone's different, but if you'd like any specific advice about your organization's needs, again, please feel free to reach out to us at Wiz Assistance. We'd be happy to help you with a suitable maintenance schedule. Right, there's another question. Chris is asking, isn't the repack rebuild function the best way to clean up the database? It can be, Chris. Certainly on older systems, we rarely use that feature of GoldMine now. Not knowing exactly what GoldMine version you're on, but certainly if you're running on a SQL-based system, then that is fairly self-tuning and keeping itself up to date. The rebuild and pack was primarily used with older, deep, very old versions of GoldMine when you deleted a record and the record was physically in the database, and only when you did a rebuild did GoldMine finally remove all those records. So in older systems you could find you removing records, but the system is still slow because DBase was not particularly fast. But good question. Right, I don't think there's any more questions, so thanks to 3 of you for those. My latest news as of March 2025, we're on GoldMine 2024.4. Make sure you've got a maintenance contract via Wiz Assistance. Make sure you're up to date. Do you fancy some GoldMine training? We do offer short, sharp, to the point 2-hour training sessions, online sessions with topics to be decided by you. And particularly we do focus on some of these tools that I've just been going through to make sure that your GoldMine system is up to date and nice and clean and working optimally. So contact us for details on that. And as GoldMine users, I assume anyone watching this is a GoldMine user. If you've got any suggestions for future topics that you think would be of interest to other GoldMine users out there, please drop us a line. We'd love to consider those for future sessions. So thanks very much then for those of you on here live. There's our contact details. We'll catch up with you soon on the next GoldMine 101. Thanks very much indeed. Bye-bye.